One new transfer rumour for every Premier League club. So these are the tiers. Season defining. I like it. Might as well. Not for me. Big mistake. I'd be amazed if you say big mistake.
Yeah, imagine I say that for every single one. Big mistake.
Yeah.
No justification.
Just not saying it. Yeah. Right, we kick off. Arsenal. Eberechi Eze. 27
Big
years
mistake.
old. Yeah.
Sorry.
Man. 43 games last year. 14 goals, 11 assists. Solid numbers. Question. Is Eze the profile of player that Arsenal are missing? A risk taker who's willing to crack shots from range. Little stat for you. Eze averaged 21.5 yards as his average shot distance last season, which I think speaks to probably the fact that they kind of played on the counter-attack, but also the fact that he likes to have a little shot from range.
Maybe as well, I was going to say the fact that he doesn't fit into a box in terms of as an attacking player. He's a bit of a floater. That's not a nice word to use, sorry. But he's that sort of drifter behind, can pretty much occupy any part of the pitch, attacking-wise. It is something totally different that I don't think we've seen too much of Arsenal. And actually, we talk a little bit about Odegaard and how sometimes he might take a step back, so he's got the view, and he might not want to be in between the lines, so the midfield and defence. He actually wants to be
wants
behind.
to see everything in front of him.
Yeah. So actually, maybe instead of saying, "Oh, Odegaard, you go up," is Arteta thinking, "Right, we'll get someone else that can be that person, so that Odegaard can do what he feels the most comfortable doing, and you might get more out of him." Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with. I feel like he had a clause, and that clause has maybe run out now. So I don't know what the money will be, but as we've kind of alluded to, we're not really bothered about the money. It's more about just do they come or not. I think if they sign Eze, I just think it will. Maybe I'm just. So generally, I'm probably known for you too, because we're like Bolton QPR. You kind of believe what we're saying a touch more, or at least that it's our opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're not blinded by, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I want to talk about Liverpool. I'm an Arsenal fan, I want to talk about Arsenal. Other clubs, included. But maybe I'm biased with Eze because obviously he's like my QPR guy. I absolutely adored watching him. But I can't get away from how brilliant I think he would be for this team. And to the name of the podcast, the ripple effect that he would have on the enjoyment of watching Arsenal, but also on that left half space. Declan Rice is such a good footballer that he can kind of go there. But to have someone like Eze, that the opposition would be focusing their mind on, or what, we don't want him getting the ball. To have I think when Odegaard gets it, you're still kind of worried about Saka getting it. At the moment, Odegaard doesn't make you fearful when he's got the ball, if you're the opposition. I just don't think he does. Now, that might change. That might have been just one season. And we've seen that he can be such a threat. I think the season before that, maybe had 15 assists. So he's a great player. But with football, for me, a lot of the time, it's about kind of concern, and it's about being able to change the sort of the pace of a game. And that's a big thing that Arsenal are trying to implement here. And I think they are one player away. And I think Eze is such a spark. And he's a player that you are concerned about when he gets the ball, because he might run at you, he might play a pass, he might take a shot. So I really, 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 really think he could be quite season defining for us.
Yeah, I also think as well, when you look at you talk about concern, for a team as good as Arsenal, where I was maybe not quite as concerned if I was the opposition, is when they got the ball in their own half, that they would get it up the pitch rapid.
Yeah.
And I think that part of that could play into, as you say with Odegaard, maybe sometimes there'd be a pass that was sideways, or maybe a player might turn back towards goal with the ball.
Or he'd go away from
if
goal.
You could, whereas if you could bring someone like Eze into the team, it could be that connector a little bit more.
Totally.
Or he could be himself the one that does it, but he could just speed them up, just getting up the pitch.
I just think in that left half space, which is the reason why we all talk about half space all the time, because they're awkward positions for defences to deal with those players when they get the ball in those areas. He is so comfortable in those areas.
Yeah.
And Declan Rice is good in those areas, but he's not as outrageously as comfortable as Eze is. And I just think he'd be huge for them. Absolutely. And I think if you think like Eze and Mateta, and that link up there. Like, take out Mateta and put Gyökeres there. Like, that's good too. Like, you're not going to miss out on that link up, which I don't think is like the only thing. I actually think all the players around him will be better as well. I think it would be huge. I really, really do. I feel quite strongly on this one. You may have noticed. So I'd like to put him as season defining. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Right, let's move forward. Aston Villa. Lewis Openda, 25 years old, RB Leipzig. 45 appearances, 13 goals, 11 assists. Good numbers. Played mostly as a centre forward for Leipzig this season in a front two with Benjamin Sesko. Can also play on both flanks if needed, as he's pretty rapid. 7.84 progressive passes received per 90 and 5.14 penalty area touches per 90, which is pretty solid. And I think the progressive passes part of that is Leipzig and kind of the way that they play. He's also been linked with Sunderland, which would be fantastic if they could get him at Sunderland. But for Aston Villa, they do need a striker, I think.
I've noticed a lot of teams in the Premier League are enjoying trying to get players who have got the real physical, rapid, direct vibe. I think they're eyeing that up, aren't they, at the moment?
There's a fantastic article on Scouted Football, and it talks about power forwards. And the idea with these power forwards, Gyökeres being one of those, Haaland, Sesko, a lot of players like that. I guess you could say Delap, say Nicolas Jackson maybe as well. Players that are willing to make a run and make a run and make a run and make a run and make a run, but also have got size to sort of battle it out with your centre backs as well. So it is very, very prominent. I think it's always been something that you like in a striker if they've got all of those things. But yeah, willing to make numerous runs into the channel, I think is becoming more and more important, because not just in a mid block, but I guess in transition as well. You want to be able to have that pace. Yeah, I think this is. Let's have a look at it. I like it. It's close to I like it or might as well. I'm not totally 100% certain on what his ceiling is. He's 25 is a good age. I think they've lost Rashford. They've not really got that guy who can run in behind alongside Watkins or someone to replace Watkins. They literally don't have another backup, really.
Yeah, that's a good
as
point.
strikers.
Yeah.
So I think I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Not even a might as well. So I think I do like it. Mikel Adopo. So this could be the big mistake. I mean, I don't know if it's a big mistake, but linked with Bournemouth.
Keeps me awake.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, you get nervous. He's a centre midfielder. Played for Cagliari last year. He finished kind of like mid-table in Serie A. And Bournemouth, like, for all the problems that, lack of depth maybe they have, or lack of a proper high quality starting 11 they have. Those problems are in defence. This guy's a centre midfielder. I've watched a little bit on him. He's kind of, he's just like a normal midfielder. Maybe it might be one where like kind of like you say in the last podcast, trust in Bournemouth in terms of like, oh, maybe he's really good.
They like the Serie A, don't they, Bournemouth?
Sorry?
They like Serie A, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
It's me in club form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if Neve was a Premier League football club, she'd be Bournemouth. 5.404 ball recoveries per 90, 2 tackles per 90, so can win the ball back. But they've got Ryan Christie, they've got Tyler Adams, they've got Alex Scott, they've got Philip Billing back from loan as well. They've got Traore, who is a player who I quite liked. It had some good moments in a pre-season friendly I was watching recently. Lewis Cook as well. So they've got quite a lot of midfielders, is kind of my point. So maybe they want one more destroyer-y type one to fill in for Tyler Adams if he's not there. You've kind of got Lewis Cook there, and you've kind of got Philip Billing there as well. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So, I think I don't know if it's a big mistake. I think they've got a lot of money, Bournemouth. They probably want to like use that money, and I guess maybe they're just getting a cheapie in. Not for me.
There's going to be hopefully some rumours from them connected to defenders that'll be more exciting.
Good. So you happy with no for me, or is it a big mistake? Do you want to go big on that?
No, we'll just do not for me.
Okay. Next up, Brentford. Daisen Maeda, 27 years old, striker for Celtic.
I like him.
51 appearances, 33 goals, 12 assists for Celtic last year. Played mainly off the left last season, 36 times, but can also play as a centre forward.
Do you know when I decided I liked him? When Celtic played Bayern. He was relentless. That's where my lack of trust in those... Do you remember the Bayern centre-backs? Don't get me wrong.
Upamecano you're not sure about?
Yeah, but Upamecano, whereas I had my hesitations, I actually stemmed. Sometimes you just have to shake off what you've seen sometimes, because I just thought he was like relentless. He wouldn't leave him alone. And they struggled to handle him.
Yeah, he's a little thing. It does feel like it feels like a Visser replacement. So the Brentford forward line, Chardon's going to have to step up. Feel free to do a Chardon pun if you'd like. Visser's kicking off a bit, saying he wants to leave, apparently. But Maeda, when I was looking at his stats and watching him a bit more, obviously gets a lot of opportunities to score goals because it's Celtic, and his one-touch finishing was quite good. And as I was watching it, and maybe through the lens of this is a Brentford rumour, it was, you can imagine Brentford going, okay, we need to replace goals. We've lost a lot of goals. So the main thing more than anything else, and his stats overall in terms of keeping the ball and things like that, it's not great. But he scores goals, one-touch finishes, knows where he wants to put it.
He can go and get you a goal by himself.
Yeah.
I think he'll lead the line. I saw a clip of him recently, and he did that where he just won the ball back himself and scored like that. Yeah.
That's it. And I think if you've got... So Sharda played on the left last season, but could go and be a centre forward if Thiago, who's a big lad, he's more Ivan Toney-ish, if he's probably going to lead the line. We've not seen enough of him really because of injuries. But say he's fit and he's playing, then he'll play there. You play Sharda on the left. You probably want another guy that you can bring on. Maeda could be that. But if Thiago got injured for some reason and you had to move Sharda into the middle, then Maeda could play on the left. So it's quite. I think it's quite clever.
My only thing is, I'm just a little bit shocked at him wanting that move.
Him wanting a move.
Yeah.
I guess. A Premier League wage is better. Maybe 27. He's in his prime. He was overperforming his XG last year as well. So again, I think something that Brentford will be looking at.
If I was going to leave Celtic, a club that is in total transition, that's just lost their manager, and of all the clubs, I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think? Big mistake? Not for me. Might as well. I like it. Season
I
defining.
like it from the perspective of Brentford wanting him. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm intrigued to see how much it would cost, despite what we said previously. I'm intrigued to know how much he would cost. The only thing is that, not at Celtic, you should score goals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my only concern. But yeah, overperforming XG, which you would feel that means that he is just an out-and-out good finisher. I think he is. Brighton. I wasn't aware of this guy, and I spent probably about 40 minutes watching him last night because I'm a loser. Roger Fernandez from Braga, 19 years old. He's played a lot of games. I think he's the youngest scorer. It's either for Braga or for the Portuguese league. His first game is at 15. Dauman vibes. Can play on the right, can play on the left, can play left back, can play right wing back. And he's linked with Brighton. And as I say, I was doing this video on how every team sets up. And the one area where for Brighton, I was thinking, there's not really the depth, or I don't really understand it totally, was the right back position. Currently, they've got Veltman. They've got a guy, Diego Gomez, who's kind of like a midfielder, but he can play right back as well. And in pre-season and in the last couple of games, they played Mats Weifer at right back, who, is a centre midfielder by trade as well. So the right back position was an area I was sort of wondering about in terms of having a guy who can bomb up and down. They have got Tarek Lamptey actually as well, sorry. But this lad, he was absolutely electric. He was so, I found it, he was so, and then I thought, of course you're linked with Brighton. Like, you're just a really, really good fit. Like, just great feet. You know, the fact they can play on both sides. If he's on the right-hand side, he'll cut in that left foot. Lots of great crosses. I mean, its stats overall, like, not great, I guess, in terms of 48 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. Not awful. I really, really liked him. Like, he did sort of jump off the screen when I was watching him. And at 19 to have that many games, I think is pretty cool. So it's not season defining. I really, really like it. I presume he might be someone that you're not too aware of.
Someone I've got.
So yeah, I like it. I'm going to pop him there. Okay, Burnley. Florentino Luis has been linked. 25-year-old Benfica defensive midfielder. Bit of a destroyer. That's what Romano kind of said, and he is that kind of player. With I've gone blank there. PSG centre midfielder. You love him. Not Vitinha. What's his bloody name?
Oh, João Neves.
Thank you. I played alongside João Neves a couple of years ago, and the two of them were really, really strong together.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Luis is good. He's been linked with sort of clubs maybe of a bigger stature than Burnley in the past. Burnley have just signed Ogachukwu from Chelsea, which I think is an all right signing. I guess he's got another year under his belt. Going to get more Premier League games, so that's good for him. And Armando Broja from Chelsea as well. Gone to Burnley.
Wow.
Luis, 5.7 ball recoveries per 90 last season. A whopping 4 tackles per 90, which I like. This leads me to thinking that Burnley are going to double down on their defensive prowess from last season. I think they only conceded like 20 goals last year.
Do you think you're set up better to cope with the Premier League if you go into it as a team that spent the whole season defending in the Championship or whole season scoring goals?
It's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think we did such a good pod with Nedum where we spoke about kind of relegation. And obviously when he was at QPR, that was what he was kind of having to deal with. And he said so many like really fascinating things that I just wouldn't have thought of. And one thing that I think I remember him saying was that you do need to know that you can score goals because if you, and I'm sure you've had it as a fan, definitely with Bolton. I've had it a million times with QPR, but you go in the ground, you go, come on, hey, come on. And then if you concede the first goal, that belief, if you're a team that doesn't score many goals, is double drained because you don't really believe that you can score 2.
Yeah.
And I actually, one of my big takeaways from that pod with Nedum was, which is available if you want to go and listen to it, is you need to be in a team that can score 2 goals. I think like wherever you are, you need goals in your team. Broja I don't think he had a shot on target last season for Everton. Didn't have many shots, to be fair, and didn't play many games.
Yeah.
But he did well at Southampton, didn't he, a few years ago? I feel like there's a good player there.
What's one dark art that a newly promoted Championship club can do to try and get an upper hand in a game when they're a small fish in a big pond?
What's a dark art?
Could it be that they go out and find like a 7'3" player somewhere?
Oh right, yeah,
and just plunk them in the box for set pieces?
Yeah, I don't think Broja's that tall.
No, but you find someone.
Yeah, I think that's what Leeds are doing. Leeds are buying some big boys.
Yeah. What about if their new recruitment strategy is to go and find people from other sports?
Yeah, bringing a volleyball into footballers. Yeah, bringing a volleyball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an option. Maybe is that what Burnley are doing here? Just bringing in physicality. Ogachukwu, Luis, Broja. Yeah, I don't know. I think, do you know what, if I'm Burnley, this is what I would consider strengths-based building. So like, for example, in golf, if you're really rubbish at hitting the ball out of bunkers, but you're really good at driving, if you do a strength-based approach at improving, you just concentrate on your driving, make it even better so that you never go in a bunker. So you're not in that problem. So for Burnley, are they looking to do that where we're already solid, let's not break that, let's double down on that, and then win games 1-0? I mean, it's kind of what worked for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've done that before.
So I don't hate it. So bringing Florentino Luis, that's pretty cool.
You're in for a long season if you're a part of a team that has to do that, though, aren't you? That's the only downside.
Yeah, but do you know what? Isn't it if Bolton went up and it was this strategy, you don't really, certainly the first season, you don't really care if you're still in the hunt. Do you know what I mean? But then come back to my original point is, if you concede a goal first, are you going to have that belief that you can get 2 goals?
That's true.
It's tough. Thoughts on this transfer?
Is it not an indifferent
Might as well.
option? Yeah, it might as well.
Right, listen up. I've created a new home for proper football analysis with exclusive breakdowns, previews, and content that you won't find on YouTube. Every Tuesday, our amazing team of tactical writers analyse the weekend's action with The Fallout. Every Friday, we preview everything coming up in the Premier League on The Narrative. There's also Allcott Unfiltered, a monthly video where I give my honest takes on the biggest stories, and you're also going to get bonus pieces, Q&As with ripple effect guests, and access to hot debates within the chat. You can sign up to my Substack for free to access selected articles, specials, and daily discussion in the chat. Full access is £5 a month, or save 2 months free on the annual plan. Come and be a part of the JLA Substack, links in the description.
Chelsea, Alejandro Garnacho, 21-year-old Manchester United player, you might have heard of him. 58 appearances last year. Not in the final though, didn't play in the final. Got a bit annoyed about that, didn't he? 11 goals, 10 assists. Again, not awful. I mean, 60 games, but yeah. Primarily a left winger, but can also play on the right, of course. Very good outlet runner. He gets himself into good goal-scoring positions.
Big mistake.
Yeah?
If I was to put one in,
I'm learning this about you. You don't like footballers who throw their toys out the pram.
No, I don't. And also
Down tools.
And also I actually know. Do you know what it is, right? I don't mind Garnacho. And one thing I'll say about him that I do quite like is that he's quite relentless on the pitch and that he keeps trying, he keeps going and pushing and pushing and pushing. But I just think that, like, the Chelsea standard quality pool, what the players that they could sign, I don't think they need to go near someone like Garnacho, if I'm honest.
I kind of agree, I think. I think one, you're getting, well, how much do you think he costs? Where do you think's like, all right, shake your hand, you can have him? 35? Too much?
Well, this is just it, because we just don't know. There's so much unknown with him. Personally, I just think...
Scored that bicycle kick. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, take it all back then. 200 million.
11 goals, 10 assists. Europa League, there might be some games that... Europa League was... Well, some people said it was tough, some people said it wasn't. I get your point in terms of the big mistake, because I think from if you take the possibility of him kicking up a fuss out of it, or getting disillusioned, or getting, kind of angry, whatever, sulky, if you take that out of it, profile-wise, to have one more option who can play on the right if Neto got injured, could play on the left, it's not a terrible thing. And to the stockpiling strategy of Chelsea, again, he fits that.
You don't need to go and give Man United a load of money to do that.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't go near that if I was Chelsea.
But yeah, you're kind of helping Man United, and yeah, I think there's probably other players out there, and it's not like you're desperate.
Exactly.
So I think you're right. I think it probably is a big mistake, because I think there's a lot of traffic for him to get through to the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's like 6 p.m. M62 vibes. But also, on top of that, they are a side, Chelsea, that take gambles on most of their players that could go either way. So I feel like this is just yet another unnecessary what if. Or maybe they just like that, though. Like, someone like a Jamie Gittins, for me, is a real, what if kind of player. So do you want too many of those in one go? Yeah.
If I was Chelsea, Rashford's more of a certainty than a Garnacho. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of those two.
But he's maybe a bit too old.
Because it's how good do you think Garnacho can be? But also, because he's young, you can definitely sell him. Say you bought him for 35, right, and it goes wrong. You probably could still sell him for 20 to Serie A. Maybe.
I see what you mean.
But I think Yeah, I'm okay with big mistake because it's good to get someone in there. Crystal Palace, Jan Bisek of Serie A fame, 24-year-old, Inter Milan, centre-back. Has played right-sided centre-back in the back three at Inter Milan. He is linked with, as I say, Crystal Palace.
I felt so sad for him in the final.
Yeah.
I know.
That was cruel, wasn't it? I do, and one of the games before, I really liked him. I quite, I really enjoyed
like
him.
I think maybe consistency could be an issue, and maybe sometimes when I felt Inter could have done with someone who's just a little bit calmer, a little bit more delicate, and so I don't necessarily think he's like the full product, but there's a lot there. There's engine there, there's strength there, and he's put some real good games in. The only thing, like I say, that delicate nature, and also maybe that awareness of like. It's not this wasn't just a him issue. I also had this issue with DeMarco too. I felt maybe in some games that the reason why Inter looked a bit fragile on the back post sometimes is because the players didn't seem to have the best awareness of the space around them. Right. And I sometimes felt Bisek fell victim to that. But then there's also lots of him that does look pretty good. So that's interesting. That.
Yeah, I like this one. I think for him to go to Palace as well, like in terms of that fit for fit, in terms of the formation, I like that.
I'm not saying this, but if I was to get into his head,
you're about to say it though, aren't you?
I don't think if I was him, I'd be a bit like, ooh, Crystal Palace. Like, this is not me saying it.
You just said it though.
But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, this guy's been to, I mean, he played for like 5 minutes, but he's been in the Champions League final very recently.
Yeah.
He's been part of a Scudetto winning team. Like, I don't know. I think he might think in his. I'm not saying he's right to think it.
You did say it.
But if you were to sit him down and say to him, like, listen, Jan, how do you feel about going from Inter to Crystal Palace?
Is this you talking to him?
Yeah, I'm saying like, hey, got a cup of tea, and just ask him that question. I think if he was like, oh, full disclosure, Neve, as he's sipping his brew, he might say, maybe I want to stick in a Champions League club.
Yeah, I can't believe you just said that.
Or that it's chasing a title, kind of thing. So, yeah, he might be a bit of a shock to the system.
I like this a lot. They've got, I mean, the three centre-backs have done so well for them, but do you then sell Gay after that? Or do you try and keep them all together? Got European football on its way. I think Gay's going to stay.
This is just it. And if they were to, let's say there's a scenario where they keep Gay, they keep Eze. You know what I mean? Like,
hang on a minute.
Whoa. They've already got the likes of Adam Wharton in that team. You could, you're looking at a blooming good team, this Crystal Palace team. However, there is going to be that lingering thought for any prospects for coming into Palace where they might want to just take a second and like, who's going to be going? Do you know what I mean? Am I coming in here to join these guys, or am I coming here to replace them? Yeah,
I think that's a really, really difficult situation that Palace are in. You're right. You're spot on. And that's the killer with the European football thing, is that was such a carrot to go, look, it's a World Cup year. Come here, play every single week, be a part of our first journey into Europe in a tournament that we think we can win. Like, that's so appealing. And like, now you're in the Conference League, it's obviously not the same. So that is it's pretty heartbreaking stuff for them. And yeah, again with the players, like you just don't know what the situation is going to be. But I like it. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
You like it. Not season defining. Everton. Tyler Dibbling. 19 years old. Southampton previously. 38 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. Obviously tough year for Southampton last year. He was kind of the bright spark. Has got a lot of experience, as an 18-year-old, full season in the Premier League, which is good. So he knows the league as a young player. 5.29 attempted take-ons per 90, 2 completed, 40% success rate, which is not awful at all. And we've seen how exciting he is. Yeah.
I think you could debate.
I'm just going to find out how much for this one, by the way.
You could debate season defining for this, because you think about the domino, the ripple. I won't do a synonymous phrase. I won't say domino. The ripple effect of it is, Everton were a team that have been pretty good at set pieces over the last couple of years, but maybe weren't getting as many set pieces as they should for a team that was so good at them. So if you had like an elevated player in a position where he would elevate the quality of the player in that position.
Yep.
And also off the back of that, you've kind of got like the Njai, but on the other side, who is going to be going at players, winning free kicks, winning corners. So then you've got the effect of that, and they might get more goals from the set pieces that they can win from that, the corners, the free kicks. And it could just it's sort of similar thing where it feels like a very small thing, a bit like with Forest. And they had like a good team, but they had a clear weakness in that their box defending was not great and box attacking could be better.
Yeah.
And then they bring Milenkovic in, and it feels like a small tweak, but it has this big impact, this big effect in their quality. It could, this big ripple effect.
Available now.
It could be one of those where it feels very small, but a signing like that could actually...
I think it's a great point.
Yeah.
Do you know also, like that right side, if you the way that Everton was set up, it felt like they were going, everything was going to be down that left-hand side. But you can have like a steady right back, just sort of chill and not have to like, you don't need this like bombastic, really, really exciting right back. You could play O'Brien. Is it O'Brien or O'Brien? I can never remember. But you could play kind of a three, and on the left side have Asnu who can go, but on the right hand side be a bit more conservative there and let Dibbling just like stay up there and like get him one-on-one as much as you can. 35. This is from today. 35 million plus 8 million in add-ons. I think that's a really good deal. Like, because he's really exciting. He is really exciting. He was struggling there. He didn't like the base wasn't there for him. I like it. I like it a lot.
Me too.
Is it season defining? Would you like to put it there?
Yeah.
It does feel like it a little bit, doesn't it? It feels like a big jump up. And again, back to that point, the Eze point of, I think with Everton, from an attacking point of view, you're worried about Beto or Barry like driving. Oh, sorry, like that physical presence and running in behind, that ball over the top maybe. Set pieces, yes. But then aside in open play, it's kind of Njai and that's it.
Yeah.
Tyler Dibbling now is just a whole new option. Opens up that right-hand side. Could be season defining. Like it. Fulham. When I read this, I was like, of course. Alexander Zinchenko. How old do you think he is? Guess. What would you
I
guess?
think he's been around for a while. I'm going to say 29.
28. Yeah. Younger than I thought. Obviously, from Arsenal, Fulham have, off the top of my head, Leno, Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson is in talks or might be there already. No, I think he might be in talks. Iwobi, Smith Rowe. Have I said them all? There's quite a few ex-Arsenal lads. And they might have another one. They've currently got... if you bring in Zinchenko for Fulham, does he play as a midfielder or does he play as a left-back? You've got Anthony Robinson.
It could be like...
Squad player, isn't he? Is he a squad player? Does he start?
I reckon what it could be is it could be cover for Robinson. So Robinson, because even though he's a left back, he's very attacking left back, isn't he? So it could be sort of Zinchenko could be sort of a facilitation style. Like it's an area of the pitch that Zinchenko is very comfortable, the midfield and the left back area. So it could be that sort of player who allows Robinson to do his thing.
I don't really get it, if I'm honest. Might need to have a little search for price. Like how much you're going to want for...
Do you just not rate him at all or something?
I just don't... I think for him, he's, you know, he's a cap... I like his mentality.
Yeah.
I think if he's going to move, you want to start. And you're not going to start. Because Robinson was one of your best players. So I don't... That's where I'm struggling with it.
But are you sure that he wouldn't start? Even though like him and Robertson could both start at the same time.
3 million. So not asking for much.
Wow. That's really cool.
A host of clubs are reportedly interested in the 28-year-old with AC Milan,
surprise me.
Borussia Dortmund and Ajax all keen. Do you know what I read the other day? Another bit of a transfer lingo that I really enjoy. I like it when people like, when players are being monitored, we're currently monitoring them. And in my head, I'm like, where's he gone? He's just gone to the shops. Okay, all right. Well, just let me know if it doesn't come straight back.
Carrot batons.
yeah. He's just bought a Karamak. Right, we don't want him then. Yeah. I mean, look, cheap, solid player, Premier League, proven to a point. And maybe another, like, I see him more as a midfielder for Fulham than a left
Yeah,
back.
he could be part of like not necessarily like saying like a double pivot as such, but we saw when they lost Palhinha, they had Lukic and Sander Berg in that role. I think that's sort of
He could be Lukic.
Yeah.
I don't see him like you're just not going to start him instead of Robinson because Robinson's a huge part of how they attack. Huge part of how Iwobi then comes in is great, or Smith. Whoa, this guy's good. In that half space, yeah. So
also depth is really important.
Yeah.
And actually, Fulham are a team that maybe lack that.
Yeah,
And
it's
also
not for me.
So he's got bags of experience.
He does.
Level.
So what are you saying?
I'm shocked and dismayed that you.
I like him as a player. I don't think it's great for him. He would cost a lot in wages, I would imagine.
But
well, do you know why I'm saying that? Because I just kind of saw it. I'm going to be honest. He's estimated to earn 4.26 million a year.
But then if you've got, let's say you've got him for 3 yeit's
and he's cost 3 million.
Plus his fee, it's like 15 in total. It's not exactly bad, is it?
So what you think might as well?
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Wow.
Is that cruel? I don't know. I'm gonna. You're the guest, so might as well. Leeds, Bilal El Kanous. I saw. So he's 21. Obviously, Leicester City played 37 games last year, 3 goals, 6 assists. Much like Dibbling, Kanous is a young and exciting star who has Premier League experience. 2.4 attempted take-ons per 90, 1.36 successful, 56.7% success rate, 1.72 key passes per 90. They're solid.
He's a total talent, isn't he?
Yeah. Linked with Tottenham as well as Leeds. Tottenham may hijack the move.
Would a player like El Kanous, who's just been relegated, would a player be better? Do you think you get like they're more likely to be a better player if they then get a signing for a club where they don't get as many minutes, but it's like they're competing a bit higher up, or if they're back in the relegation battle? Not to say that I'm not saying Leeds are definitely going to be
get beaten down,
battle,
can't you?
But,
Like if you lose a game, your confidence is going to be kind of lower, right? I think the Tottenham, for him to go to Tottenham, not to take a bit from Leeds for too long, but for him to go to Tottenham, the problem you have is sometimes if you go to that top club, what's quite nice is Europa League, so that you get games and get minutes, whereas in the Champions League, he's probably not going to get those same minutes unless you think he's just that good. He's only 21, and I do like him.
Yeah,
because you don't want to get like beaten down like year after year, kind of struggling. I think that's actually quite important because you also need like reps of attacking. If you're attacking, you don't want to have the ball in your own half all the time.
A decent amount of cash.
Leeds,
yeah,
I think the owners do.
Yeah.
Then there's the PSR situation. I mean, they kept together that squad overall. They have sold a few, like Somerville. They sold, didn't they? I'm trying to think of some of the others. They sold a few.
Well,
Kevin Phillips.
Someone we've just been talking about for Brighton, Jorginho.
Yep. There you go. That's it.
Gray.
What with Leeds? So at the moment they've kind of brought in like loads of tall blokes. Like Stack is like stacked. He's 6'4" midfielder. Brought in Langstaff. Just said like a northern there. Who I like as a solid and probably proven, I guess. Nemeka up top, 6'2", another one. Some of the centre backs are all big as you would expect as well. But so that like bit of creativity, because outside of that you got kind of Nonto bombing it. Yeah, I'm not sure. He had one really bad game against QPR, so I just can't. A bit like Upper Makar, I think I can't get that out of my head. Dan James, who you wonder about, Guile on occasion, I would say. Aronson, maybe a similar thing. So like that guy who's just a bit more tennish.
Yeah. No, I think it's
quite like this.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I think this could be really, really important for them. Great move for him, I think, as well, because I think he'd get the minutes.
We saw, he had a lot of tenacity, talent for Leicester, and
kept going, didn't he?
Yeah, and he'll only get more confident.
Yeah, I like it. Close to season divided. I think he's that good.
It could be. Obviously looking for signings that are the difference between staying up and not. You talked about the belief of scoring. You need to have the belief of scoring, and if you've got a player like that on your team.
Just check another quick transfer rumor there, which I presume is nonsense. But if it is, then amazing and is utterly season defining. Gonzalo Garcia, I saw an article, him linked to Leeds. But I think I guess you got Endrick at Real Madrid, haven't you? And Mbappe, like those are your two guys. But Garcia did so well. Like, why would you let him go? You'd have him in your squad because there's games for him to play. But if Leeds could get him, that is utterly season dividing. Yeah. Like, he would keep them up. He's so good.
It makes you think, like with Leeds and Sunderland. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Burnley here, but if you take Leeds and Sunderland, if there's going to be teams that are like a newly promoted teams that can pull these sort of things off, like I look at those as the dudes that could do it.
I know what you mean. I was actually looking at someone that we're going to talk about for Nottingham Forest, Calamuendo, the striker, and it was in a Leeds video because they were kind of linked with him a little bit as well. And the Leeds guy was sort of going. He was talking about players like, would they come to Brentford or would they go to Leeds? And he was like, "Come on, it's Brentford. Like, why would you go to the G Tech when you could play in front of 40,000?" And as as snobby as that is, because there's so many other things that play a part. The thing with Leeds is like to play at Ellen Road, like, was it 40,000 or whatever it might be, like that you would hope would still have some kind of pull in this kind of day and age.
You would hope, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I mean, I think it just depends on the player and how much they value that. Yeah, I think we would be disappointed by the amount of players that probably don't. Because I think unless it's almost like if you gave them a taste for it, if you gave them like a 1 month taste of what it's like to play it, then I'd be convinced that,
but without the taste.
They might not know, like especially in these recent years that Leeds have had like they've had a little bit of time in the Premier League, but really not that much. You younger generations, like even me, I've done Leeds away with Bolton a few times, and I know the atmosphere is great, don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely, when I do Leeds v Bolton at Ellen Road, I know I'm not experiencing what Ellen Road that everyone else is talking about. Yeah. So I feel like, I think it's the same with Newcastle. I think for it to be for everyone to understand across Europe or globally, for them to understand the pull of these clubs and the tradition, the history of the fans, I think it takes a little bit of time of it being in our face at the top level. So maybe, but I can see the point. Same with Sunderland too. Yeah,
I think it's interesting. So we like it. We like it a lot. We move on. Let's go to Nottingham Forest. So Arnaud Calamuendo, 23 years old from Rouen. 34 appearances, 18 goals, 4 assists. I hadn't seen much of him, to be honest. So again, yesterday I spent a bit of time having a look at him. There was so many goals that he scored from like across from the right, and often him kind of double movement going towards the 6-yard box, then pulling back, and then one touch finish, putting it in. He scored a lot of goals there. Had been at PSG, I think, at one point, and a few teams were after him initially. Super quick, really great kind of transitional striker, so it could be a really, really good fit for Nottingham Forest with that kind of counter-attacking threat being lost a little bit with Alanga moving to Newcastle. So I kind of like it. 23. Maybe it's a lot of pressure to kind of come into the Premier League and hit the ground running. They've signed Ndoye already, so maybe that kind of takes it off them a little bit.
Did they I want to know more about them signing Ndoye, because I feel like they pinched him because Napoli really wanted him.
Oh, really?
And I thought that we'd like secured it, and the next thing I see he's travelled to Nottingham. He's got lost on the way.
Maybe they weren't monitoring him well enough. Clearly. Yeah. I think they need different kinds of strikers, and then also someone who can maybe play over on that right hand side as well. Calamuendo, I like it. Kind of might as well. Has scored goals, has got a pedigree. I like it.
Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that, and they're carried on leading into how they're going to play. I think if you look at that signing and the Ndoye one, because there's something else I said about Ndoye, he covers a lot of ground. Yeah, and
you're right. I like for a sort of 1-for-1 replacement is maybe a bit unfair, and a lot of, I mean, not unfair, but it's harder. Whereas having a few different options is nice, and you've got European football on the way as well, so having those numbers will be really useful. And just to mix it up in different ways, I think the striker position, you got now Chris Wood, you got Igor Jesus, who's a little bit different, and then Calamuendo, who's even more different. So yeah, good, and scores goals. Sunderland, John Lucumi, 27-year-old from Bologna, Colombian. Did have like 3 errors that led to goals, but Bologna are a little bit risky at times. Yeah, another one I didn't know a crazy amount, so again went and kind of watched him. He's got lovely long arms. I like centre backs who just deal with stuff with their arms before like players can get there, like kind of utilising the contact a little bit.
I see what you mean. I think his way of defending and his like the way he will navigate those battles with other players look like it would suit the Prem.
Yeah, and for Sunderland, they absolutely need a centre back. They've got Ballard. I really love Luke 09. Who's another one I'd love to chat to him on a podcast. I think he'd be fantastic. He seems really, really articulate and just seems like he's got such substance to him. Bit like Tom Lockyer, like different, because 09 is a weird one because he played centre back and you kind of like, you don't really feel like a centre back because previously he was a midfielder, but he cares. He has so much about him that he makes it work. And Tom Lockyer, sometimes you feel like, he's not the biggest. And so he's got that same bit of metal, which I like. Anyway, Dan Ballard is previously at Arsenal, been at Sunderland for a few years and is growing. And this is the perfect time for him to step into the Premier League and continue to improve. And he's got that size. But I think you need more size. And he would provide that. They definitely need another centre-back. And I kind of trust Sunderland at the moment. I think it feels like they know what they're doing. 27, a little bit older. Kind of in his peak, but they need
not everyone that you sign is you want them to be like a youngster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could they get someone a touch more exciting?
No, Bologna plays some good football.
Yeah,
and some football that required, like you say, required the centre backs to sort of be out their comfort zone, and you're going to be out your comfort zone in the Premier League. That's true.
Yeah, you've got to be brave.
Yeah,
you've got to have some courage. Yeah, you're right. So do you like it or might as well?
I quite like it.
Yeah, you like it. Okay. Lovely positive bod here.
We're officially launching the JLA Tactics board. I have had so many questions about this, and you've seen it. You've seen it on the JLA channel, you've seen it on the Premier League channel, you've even seen it on television. We've even tested it with an ex-England manager, but now it's your turn. It's your time. All you need to do is sign up and pick a subscription plan that suits you. Now, there's a plan for absolutely everyone. You can use the board for free, and you can gain access to a variety of free tools. But if you want to take up your analysis to the next level, the advanced plan will grant you access to every tool that I have. You'll be able to create custom squads, save up to 20 custom tactics per team, analyze video footage in MediaDraw, and so much more. And you can get all of that for £6.99. So, whether you're a content creator, an analyst, a coach, or if you just simply love the game, there is a plan that suits you. Click the link below to get started.
Tottenham, Adam Wharton, 21 years old. How much is he going to cost? I spoke to Flav. Flav said on the overlap, got in trouble for it. They laughed at him. He said he would cost £100 million because he's got quite a long contract.
It's because it's the most frustrating thing. Whenever I see these conversations, I have to just switch them off and move on, because I don't think it will ever happen where people understand the concept of a price that you think a player is versus what he's worth to a club. And people just, it doesn't matter how many times you say it. I don't think if someone just doesn't get it, they don't get it. So you're just going to move on.
Yeah. A couple of injury issues last year, but when he plays, he's so great, isn't he? 7.33 progressive passes per 90, 5.34 passes into the final third.
If he is going to cost 100 million, I know we're not big price tag people, but we are people who think, right, okay, so if you're going to allocate that volume of money, yeah. But if you're going to allocate those funds to him, where you're not putting those funds, is it that type of midfielder that they need the most, Tottenham?
Do you know what I'd do? I'd be like, does anyone want Bentancur? I'd say that to people, and then see what kind of bunch you could get for that, and then from there you go, let's use that bunch to supplement Adam Wharton, and that way you're not kind of getting, or like I think Basuma's been linked with West Ham. So say like you got a solid chunk of change for that for him.
Then you want to go out and get like and
utilise that money Because you're right, they have got midfielders.
They could do with a like.
Polina's just signed as well.
Mm.
They've got a lot. They've
Yeah,
kind of
no,
got.
good, yeah, no, good
Do you
point.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's 21, so it's like we were talking about Verts on the last pod. You get him, and then I mean, okay, there might be concerns about injuries, but all being well, if you can have a fit Adam Wharton, you know, that's 10 years, isn't it?
They love a youngster, don't they, Tottenham?
Yeah, imagine him, Gray, and Bergvall. Just let them get on with it for 6-7 years. See how good they can be. Sounds fun, doesn't it? I mean, I don't think he's a pressing need, Adam Wharton, and he would cost a lot, like you say. But I think any club would like Adam Wharton.
Yeah.
Probably in this window, not for me. Just because you've signed Polina on loan. So, yeah, that's where I sit on it. Do you sit in the same place?
Yeah. Okay. But do you think if they didn't get him?
Polina.
The Wharton, do you think next summer, do you think if other clubs were in for him, do you think Tottenham would win the race? Do you think?
That's a good point.
So could it be that they're doing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you have to just kind of take that opportunity when it comes. But again, I guess you still got a month to get rid of Bentancur, get rid of Basuma if you want to go and do that. It's true. What are you saying? Are you saying might as well?
I want you to take authority.
I hear what you're saying. Do you know what? Would you rather live in a world where would you be so happy if you got Adam Wharton but you lost Bentancur and Basuma? Or would you be happier to have Bentancur and Basuma?
I would be happier to have Wharton, but
kind of might as well then.
No, but it's that concept of like that price. I know that Crystal Palace, the whole reason why they're asking for that much is because they want him to stay. And my sort of point is, it's like, let's say you went into a shop and you really wanted this T-shirt, but the person didn't want to give up the T-shirt.
Right.
So they said,
so it's
going to cost you like £300 for this T-shirt. And in your head, you're like, oh, actually, no.
And I'm wearing 2 T-shirts.
No, I can. I've just ordered myself a T-shirt on Etsy for £85, and I would never usually do this.
Right.
But it's right. This is going to sound like I'm obsessed because I am a little bit. It's a Mike and the Mechanics T-shirt.
Right.
And I just really want it. It's a retro T-shirt from a tour back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
So my point with this is, there's no question about it that when I get this T-shirt, I'm going to love it. I'm going to get my use out of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear it often. Yeah. And it's going to be better
than
many of my other T-shirts that I've got in my wardrobe. But then sometimes you've got to be a big girl and think, do you know what? I also looked at other T-shirts on Etsy. I really also wanted a Typo Negative T-shirt because it said Green Man on it, which is my favourite song by them. Okay. But that T-shirt was also very expensive. And again, I would love that T-shirt, but I had to be a bit of a big girl in that moment and be like, come on now, you can't have them all. You can't have it all your own way. And sometimes you've got to accept that you've been priced out of the T-shirt. So maybe with Tottenham, there's no disputing that he wouldn't be brilliant. But I don't know, maybe you've sort of got to be a bit brave and be like, do you know what? That's a little bit too much for us right now.
Yeah. What if I said to you, that shirt, that's yours for that money? And it does look like that now. But I've got that shirt might shrink in the wash.
You're losing me a little bit on the
So if it shrinks in the wash, that's essentially an injury. If it shrinks in the wash, then you're not going to wear it, regardless of how much you've spent on it. So the Adam Wharton thing, the concern is that I would say that I would have a concern about Adam Wharton is that I haven't seen him play a full season. He's not shrinkable. He's not impossible to shrink.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I can wear him whenever I want to.
And maybe right now that T-shirt's worth £100, but when that T-shirt is not quite as pivotal to the person selling the T-shirt, when they make a decision that they no longer have to wear that T-shirt as much, then they might be more inclined to sell for a little bit less. And it's the same with Palace. it's all about timing sometimes.
Yeah.
And there could be it's like there's probably seasons where a club would want to keep a player for a certain amount, but then it might be another season where they're like, oh, there's a replacement we've got in mind, or oh, we don't actually need that player in this position. They're in Europe for the first time. Do you know what I mean? Like they're right now, it's so important to them that they've got Adam Wharton, especially if it looks like they could lose Eze, and especially if they could lose Guéhi. There could be a window where it's much more palatable to them to lose him. So all of a sudden he's worth
and
less.
the shop that is Crystal Palace it's got other shirts, but not other shirts that are going to fetch as much as that shirt. So what we saying? For me, it is for that money. If it is that crazy money, it's a gamble when you're not certain he's going to be totally fit. I'm still not for me, just about. And I get why Palace have got such a high value for him.
Yeah, I agree.
So not for me. I've popped him there, but we love him. Jacob Ramsey, West Ham, 24 now. Versatile midfielder / wide profile. Could be their alternative to Morgan Gibbs-White, says here. A 3.39 progressive carries per 90. It hasn't hit the numbers yet. 46 appearances. I'd be intrigued to know how many of those are 90s. I think he's not always been the go-to starter for them. So a lot of those subs appearances. 4 goals, 7 assists.
So
I
really
like
fascinating the concept though of like giving money to teams around like the teams that you want to
in your band.
Yeah.
How much are they offering? I think I really like Jacob Ramsey. I think there's been a bit of up until this point. There's been it's worked for his development to be able to kind of come in, come out. If it's not going well, you just pop out. There's no real pressure on you. All kind of works. It's now time to be a big boy. 50 million, apparently.
Ooh.
It's the plan. They plot to West Ham plotting to swoop to sign a Aston Villa midfielder, Jacob Ramsey. Yeah, 136 Premier League appearances. I'm sorry, there was Steve Bartlett's trying to sell me something. 50 million, 24. That's a lot, isn't it? But he is good. How do you feel about this one? The point I was going to make is like if he's going to be at Villa, he needs to be the guy now. And if Morgan Rogers and McGinn are in the way of that, then that's a problem.
Yeah,
because he needs to be playing. He needs to be the guy.
Do you think that West Ham does the quality of having him at West Ham outweigh the fact that they'd be spending 50 million on a player that Aston Villa wouldn't mind losing? It kind of feels a bit crazy, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think for Aston Villa, they could do with selling an asset.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Homegrown. So, pure profit. If that's right. I remember that being a thing. Do you like it from... So you like it from Villa's point of view? I get it from Villa's point of view.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those heartbreaking ones. Because I think they probably still think that he could still push on. But he is 24. He's getting into Lingard territory. For West Ham, they probably need a player like him.
Yeah, they do.
They've got a lot of like safe, simple players. That sounds disrespectful. I don't mean it that way. I'm that kind of player, or was a million years ago. And Jacob Ramsey is different, a bit more ball progressor. I like it from West Ham's point of view. I think I like it. And Villa, I think, will be okay with it. Probably need the gash.
Yeah.
Wolves. Juanlu Sanchez, 21, Sevilla, right wing back. Absolutely an area where they need to strengthen for Wolves. Nouri has obviously left. He was the left wing back. You got Semedo still there? I think Semedo's... Has he gone? Hang on. Let me just... Is he still there? Gone Fenerbahce. Semedo's gone Fenerbahce. I thought he had. So, they are low on right wing backs. He's an all right player. He's young. It's another one where we were talking about in the last podcast about Wolves. It's going to be about the sum of the parts, I think, for these guys. Because the players that the waters that they're fishing in are people that aren't like huge names. Played for Spain at youth level, 35 games last year, 5 goals, 5 assists for Sevilla. Feels smart. Smart.
I feel like it's been their policy for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. So they've got another guy called Fer Lopez from Celta Vigo, who's going to kind of be the Cunha replacement. Arias from Fluminense. They've signed him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool. It'd be cool to see him keep playing. Because, yeah, it's one of those ones you think, oh, we'll never see it. Oh, bye. It was like a holiday romance. With Arias.
It's like when you say goodbye and then you walk in the same direction.
It's exactly like that. So it is a bit awkward. Yeah, might as well. I think it could be really good, actually. Actually, I'm close to I like it. We're liking maybe too many. It feels a bit...
Because it's just like, because we're sensible, respectful human beings who don't feel the need to like dislike something for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like if people are here for like hot takes, you probably, now's the time to leave.
Yeah.
All right.
This time of the year, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This time of the year is for sitting on the fence for me, because until you see it in front of you, what's the point? You know what I mean?
You're right. Thanks for saying that later in the pod. And we skipped a few here, so we'll finish them off. We've got Alexander Isak, 25. He's a Newcastle striker. He's got 27 goals last year, 42 appearances. Got 6 assists. We've already seen Wirtz, Ekitike and Salah forming a nice connection in their few pre-season friendlies thus far. So is this going to spoil things? Did score 0.77 goals from 0.66 XG last season. It really was superb. Here's the question for you. Do Liverpool even need to spend such a large sum of money on Isak when they've got Ekitike?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I will look like the biggest hypocrite for saying you just do it. Just do it because I've just said all that big song and dance about Tottenham. Sometimes, as much as you want to play, you've got to be a bit brave and be like, no, actually, because we're already... But I think it's different with him. And the reason why is because he is how they could stay on top and win the league again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you're dealing with like, whoa, a situation here.
Yeah. He's 25. I think, again, we're like Wirtz. If there is collateral damage, and I don't mean, I mean like overall in terms of the Ekitike deal, where it like as time progresses, year 2, year 3, he's like, I'm not really the A side here. I think I'd like to go somewhere else and be the A side. So be it, because you've still kind of safeguarded the rest of the decade.
Yeah.
Because you've got Wirtz and you've got Alexander Isak.
And also, the only question mark, and I personally, like, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be itching for my club to sign Isak. Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
regardless of if you like it works today. But which, I mean, you can't have them both, but anyway.
You would say, oh, okay, I don't know if Liverpool... Because we didn't know if Isak was ever going to be leaving Newcastle, I don't know if Liverpool had like these funds where, because it's such a big transfer, had these funds where they thought there could be a situation where we could get him. So we've got these funds that are ready for him and we can still carry on doing what we're doing as normal. Or it's a come about situation where they're like, now we're going to have to reallocate funds we were going to spend elsewhere to get this. So if it is that second one, that's the only question mark. If it stops them signing a player where they might need a player, like a centre-back, like we've mentioned before, if it stops that, that is the only sort of question mark. However, that's not enough of a question mark for me.
They've got so much headroom.
Nice.
So if I could put a tier above this that's like... And this is always the thing with an Allcott tier list, to speak of myself in the third person, which is disgusting, is that the tiers sometimes... one being above another one doesn't actually mean that it's better or worse. But I would say it's kind of... I'm not totally certain on everything working this season because there's a lot of new parts. But in terms of if there was a tier above that was like decade defining, I'd pop it in that one.
It's like a Haaland level signing, isn't it? It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's just...
It's a sure thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. He's awesome. So it probably is season defining, isn't it? So we'll pop it in there. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Man City, Fermin Lopez. I really like this lad, which is obvious. but he has. You can see he's got like the tutelage of being at La Masia, but he's got a spark to him and a grit to him, which I like as well. I was like,
is he for sale?
Apparently, I mean, with Barcelona, it's always like there's always the possibility of a sale. They've also got De Jong, Gavi, Pedri. They've got a lot of midfielders, and he's such an all-rounder. You could get an incredible price for him. I think he could be, if you could get him. I was trying to figure out what he was like, how I described him, and so initially in my head, if say he was at Man City, he's not. You can think of him as a replacement for someone else, right? And I actually thought he was a bit of a hybrid between a Gundogan, because he has that ability to kind of arrive late and score goals. He's also got kind of the tenacity and the versatility of and the work rate of Bernardo Silva. So he's kind of like a bit of the two of them. And then started to sort of like have a little look around and watch some more clips of him and stuff. And like his desire to like get it on the back foot and like go. It's really good. And in the comments, I was like, I wonder what people, because some people sometimes describe players in the comments, and I had a quick look there. There was two, which I thought, again, kind of explains him a little bit, which I'm not sure I really agree with either of them, but I get it's an interesting point. Some people were saying he was like Paul Scholes. Some people were saying he was like Alvarez. And I sort of sat with that for a second. And when I was like, Paul Scholes? He's not, I don't really see him as a Paul Scholes, but a young Paul Scholes, when he was more of a like a sort of, a 10 player, more of an attacking player, because Paul Scholes had that ability to like, he had like mirrors, like great with like ability to scan and see what the danger is and figure it out. But you sort of saw that from deeper. But when he was able to do it a bit higher up, I think football was a little bit different. So you probably didn't see it to the same level. And Alvarez, he's not a striker really, so that didn't really work. He's a kind of a hybrid between the two, but yeah, I do really like him.
Like the early Paul Scholes that was part of a United team that sort of the head was up and they wanted to move the ball forward really quickly.
Yeah.
But like he had the quality to do that without losing the ball.
Yeah.
You could definitely say
get it and then he'd be further up. It was then.
Yeah. Yeah, that I would love to see him in the Premier League week in, week out.
As a Gundogan replacement as well, I think this would be amazing. I really, really love to see him in the Premier League.
The Arsenal, City and Liverpool are just relentless, aren't they?
Chelsea
and Chelsea. It's exciting though. It's actually, I think it's more, I don't know, is it more exciting if you're a supporter of one of those clubs and you're seeing yourself elevate, but you're seeing these other clubs elevate? Or is it more exciting if you're a total neutral who likes them all equally and you get to see them all elevate at the same time?
Or option 3, is it slightly sad that, like, say, like a Bournemouth or those other teams actually for a second thought, we might be able to sneak in the top 4 here?
Oh, it does feel kind of like a response to last season, doesn't it? It's like we are not having the danger of last season.
Yeah.
Because I think City felt really embarrassed last season.
Yeah, we poked the beast.
Yeah.
I think the league's poked the beast here. It's a bit like 2016.
Because it wasn't even that revolting their season, but for them and their levels, their standards, it would have felt revolting to them.
I think they won the last 12.
Yeah.
So the finish season really strong, and yeah. But it was, the feeling prior to that, and the season was over.
It's not necessarily like the positional placement in the league or necessarily results for a club like City. I almost think it was the fact that there were, you had the pundits afterwards and you had clubs and people saying, well, this is how you beat City, this is their weakness. And that their whole game and domestic dominance for years and years has been based on the fact that it's like they don't have a weakness and that we fear them so much. I think when Liverpool and City were at their absolute peak fighting each other, you were literally like scared to play them because of just how intimidating they were. And you went into a game just hoping that you didn't lose by, kind of thing. Whereas that's not been the case for a little while.
No. And I think there's some of those scars might still be there, but players like Reinders coming in, it will change some things, I think. So Fermin Lopez, I really, 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 really like it. Season defining? Probably not, because you've got so much quality that knocking about there. But does it put them back to being favourites? I think they still need a right back.
Is there going to be issues created off the back of all these signings where there's going to be a bit of unhappiness, or is there enough games for everyone to get the games they want? Or I'm not sure.
Yeah. But again, I think you need assets to sell. You need them sitting there. It's
Yeah.
bizarre. That's the problem. And last two. Benjamin Sesko, linked to Manchester United. 21 goals last season, 6 assists. Here's a ripple. Sesko to United could see Voltemada, who we can talk about in a sec, or even Nicholas Jackson to Newcastle. I'm intrigued by the food chain. It feels like United and Newcastle are kind of similar, on a similar plane. Because that's, literally as we're recording, you never know. Sesko might have made a decision. I think he's going to make a decision soon.
If I was a player, if I'm being totally real with you, if I was thinking about my own trajectory in my own career, I would choose Newcastle because I'm going into a ready-made setup in which there are a heck of a lot of positions in that team that are now settled, occupied. You've got a manager who, his player improvement, I think, is so underrated as well.
So true. Look at Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, exactly. And the way he brings players into the team and settles them in is great. I think Livramento and Hall are two great examples of that. You've got really cool players you get to play with, and pressure is a lot less.
Yeah, I love the environment they create there. Like the Newcastle fans, they get behind the lads.
And if you're a player like Sesko, who, don't get me wrong, he's got like bags of talent, he's got the physique, but I still think he needs a good environment to continue that improvement. I don't think it's a given that he replicates what he's doing in the Premier League.
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually think. So look, if to answer the question, Benjamin Sesko goes to Man United. I think season defining. I think it's.
Is there a signing that is season defining for United? Is there really until we see it see it unfold and happen?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. So might as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think you should go to Newcastle because the other thing is I think the way that team plays, it's more in line with what Sesko has succeeded with. So you're not, if he goes to Man United, he's got to step into this, this new setup that far more unique setup to what you generally see or what Sesko has dealt with previously at Leipzig. Whereas Newcastle in transition, having that kind of pace as a team, I think it would work really. I think he'd do really well there, and for all the reasons you said as well.
And obviously, Man United are a massive football club. Is there a time when, as the generations pass, that they lose that this is Manchester United? Is there or not? What do you think? Do you think they ever will, or do you think that they've just got that history now, so they'll never lose it?
Well, I mean, if you look at history, there was a big old gap between, them being dominant in the late 60s to them being dominant again in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which is a long time.
Yeah.
So it can take a long time. I think in this day and age, you should be able to get your shit together, but they've got it so wrong for so long in terms of their recruitment that alongside the pressure, that makes it really, really difficult for you to get back up and running properly. But I think the expectations have dropped so much. When I'm seeing things like us talking about them being a European outsider, or I heard Rio Ferdinand saying that I think they can finish top 8. Like that as a sentence is absolutely logical, but also weird to hear. So that's the thing. That's the weird cognitive dissonance that you have with Man United. So I to answer your question, I think they're still enormous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's going anywhere. So for them to have 12 years of it being rubbish, like maybe 3 generations of them being rubbish, then it gets to a point where who's a big club that's not? No, but then Liverpool. Then you're Sheffield Wednesday.
Liverpool will still attract him players.
Sorry?
Liverpool will still attract him. It's not really the same. Because obviously it had been decades since their last title, but in that space they'd won Champions Leagues.
What about Everton?
They'd been consistently high.
If it's so bad for so long.
Yeah, because it's easy to forget how dominant Everton were. Yeah,
they're a massive club, massive club. So yeah, I don't know. I think it would take a while. And Nick Voltemada, 23 years old. Thanks. Stuttgart. Played for the under 21s. Big boy. Great touch for a big lad, some might say. I think he would be good in the sense of having a Langer. So he looks like a striker, but he kind of plays more as a 10, really. So he would be a really good fit for Newcastle because you could go, off you go Gordon, off you go Alanga. We can play that way at times, and then you can make your way into the box. Scored 0.71 goals per 90 from 0.57 XG, so overperformed in a nice way, which is good. I think if you're Newcastle, you kind of want him and Seshko. They need two. Callum Wilson's gone.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
With him, I think I do like him. I
like the idea of Newcastle signing, like really injecting energy into the team.
Yeah.
I think it suits them to have players that are like just relentless.
I like it. We've got a lot of I like it. But I think we've had a good discussion all the same.
Stuttgart are quite an intense run around, move around team. So I think a player that played for Stuttgart all season against under Sebastian Hunes would settle nicely into Newcastle. So I like it too.
Yeah. I'm not sure how high his ceiling is. That's my one question. But you know what? I might as well like it. Might as well like it. You decide.
Yeah, I like it.
Like it. Cool.